आप गिलास में डालो, पानी भी नहीं। क्या लगे सर कॉफी, पानी आप गिलास में डालो, पानी भी नहीं।
Welcome, sir. I'm
हेलो
Ashwini Parikh from Navi.
संजीव कोसला
मेरी राणा जी है जी, अपने प्रदेश के सचिव है जी। जसवंत सिंह है जी, युवा मोर्चा के प्रदेश महासचिव है जी। अभिनव ये युवा मोर्चा के उपाध्यक्ष हैं।
ये देखो क्या हाल है?
बहुत ठीक है सर।
वेलकम सर। थैंक यू सो मच। पकड़ना सर। अरे मास्क में थोड़ा पूछना पड़ता है मिले तो सबसे हैं। प्रोफेसर कृष्ण गाबा सर, ही हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ ओरल हेल्थ साइंसेज। आई नो सर।
सर वेट सर एक ग्लास पी सकते हैं।
हेलो,
He is number 2. Professor S.P. Singh sir. Professor S.P. Singh sir.
Dr. S.P. Singh is orthodontist.
Professor Vidyarathan sir.
Dr. Sachin, he is oral surgeon.
Sachin.
Sachin. Sir, this was in 95. This center was inaugurated in 95 by he was then finance minister.
I know.
Dr. She is a pedodontist. Sudhir Bhandari is prosthodontist. Dr. Sanjeev is orthodontist.
Doctor
Sanjeev. Dr. Vinay is also orthodontist. Dr. Peish is conservative dentist, he was an endodontist. Dr. Satnam is oral surgeon. Jaiswal. Dr. Manoj is also pedodontist.
Manoj.
Dr. Rajkumar is orthodontist. Distance बन जाएगा. मैडम थोड़ा पीछे मैडम. She is orthodontist. Gunjan. She is Bhavita, orthodontist. Dr. Shikha, she is pedodontist.
बहुत काम किया आपने कोविड में सबने है।
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Harpreet is dental public health president. He is the public health dentist. Sir, the service department. 1976, well, these diagnostic treatment, we manage with cleft lip, head and neck surgery, microscopic surgery. You can see Dr. Ashu even in 85 and myself also there, giving the lectures in the community. And over a period of time, we contributed towards national oral health policy, and ultimately, the ministry has been very kind to honor us with the National Resource Center. The salient features of this National Resource Center are to nurture a model of oral healthcare delivery to children and elderly patients. To support the National Bank committed and the elderly. We are going to adopt all the innovations of this prize and provide them with comprehensive care. Focus on the affordable, patient-oriented, accessible and quality care services, establishing a model geriatric dental OPD. This is a new concept which is going to come, that how the old people, one group are going to be taken care of, preventive oral care program, including for the teachers training and the school curriculum. This also has to be implemented. So outline the priorities and the various projects which we have been working on from time to time. Over 700
चले सर थोड़ा काफ़ी पेट स्कैन Sir, even with we are still having a waiting list. We are doing average
60 scans a day, sir.
60 scans a day.
Sir.
Yes. PET scans.
Yes, sir. मैंने भी करवाया था दिसंबर में
इसको
मेरा
3 को मिला के
we are doing not only oncology, we are doing non-oncological indications also, infectious diseases, cardiology. इधर psychiatry.
सर आप इधर
इधर आना पड़ेगा पीछे भी चाहिए yes sir आगे सर Dr. Anish should be there. Dr. Baljinder is there. Yes sir. Basically because it has a large course, it has a better patient comfort, the efficiency, fancy Bottega. So we are doing.
So this is made in India, sir. Yes, sir.
So Dr. Rajendra and Dr. Harmandir, we can do the scan faster. It doesn't take that much time.
Injection they have to wait for 1 hour to the drug to go inside, and then
पहले से अपॉइंटमेंट देते हैं
so we call it in time slots, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Cerebral yoga because the synthesis, the radio tracer synthesis takes about
2 o'clock.
जैसे रात में कोई भयंकर चीज आ गई
इमरजेंसी में वहीं पे होता है सर ट्रॉमा वार्ड है सर उस पे सीटी वगैरह सारा कुछ होता है
वो कितने
नहीं काफ़ी है सर हमारा अभी भी सर हमारे पास सीवियर पेशेंट्स आते हैं मॉडरेट टू सीवियर पेशेंट है सर
हो गया उधर एक जगह खा लिया बाकी लोगों को खिलाओ
थोड़ा सा मुंह तो मीठा
एक खाने के लिए मास्क उतारना पड़ता है ना
थोड़ा सा तो ले लो
ये ले लो सर आप हाथ में ले लो सबका यही हमारा काम करते हैं
जल्दी चलिए आगे इसको हेलो बेटा आ गया
जो स्ट्रोक के लिए और वास्कुलर प्रोफेसर संधू सर ही इज हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेडियो डायग्नोसिस प्रोफेसर परमप्रीत and Professor Kumar.
Ajay Kumar, welcome from our side. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming, sir. Aneurysm होता है sir, aneurysm, stroke, AV malformations of activities, sir.
Faculty member, sir.
Chief technician. Chief leader, and faculty and one member.
कैसे है ठीक है
Madam Madhurama very used to talk very highly of you, sir. Best of Madhurama very. They all work in the zero intervention suite, which is what we dominated.
वैसे सर their department is very big, but ठीक है.
Normally you have trolleys coming in?
Yes, sir. This is because of the lower point and main point. So this is a right hand machine. On this we are doing the process of the research. Last point about this machine is we are having condition flow modulators and all. We are having HEPA filters in this machine. So it's COVID ready.
COVID times.
Sir, they do excellent job, sir. Their department, Professor Sandhu, technical staff, nursing staff, sir, सारे बहुत अच्छा काम किया.
Your president also? Yes. अच्छा सर, ओके ओके.
कोई प्रॉब्लम है? हेलो, कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं? अभी तो
यहाँ हॉस्पिटल में हमारे 6 डिफरेंट जगह पे
6 खोले हुए हैं।
6 नहीं बहुत सारी है, वैसे तो बहुत है.
ये आई में भी बनता है,
पूरे देश में
आई के
पेडियाट्रिक्स में अलग है और नेशनल हॉस्पिटल में अलग है.
Dr. Akshay Saxena, sir. He is radio diagnosis person, sir. Professor Sandhu is head of the department, sir.
Yes, sir. Just come from you, sir. I'll come with you.
But there is a here machine. This is advanced pediatric center, sir.
ओके,
This is the fastest machine in the world actually. You can do a whole body scan in the adult in 2.5 seconds.
ठीक है, ऑल वेल.
बहुत काम किया था ये लॉट ऑफ वर्क सर. जो हमारे ऐसे हैं ना सर, वो
कवर करते हैं.
कैसे हैं? क्या हो गया?
वो बच्चा ले आओ अभी.
नहीं कोई बात नहीं. आपका बच्चा एडमिट है?
हाँ हाँ.
तो बहन तुम कैसे आई? तकलीफ है, परेशानी है?
ठीक है सर, ठीक है.
उसको तो इन्फेक्शन हुआ है, अस्पताल में कोई दिक्कत है? ये ऐसे वाले जो है ना,
यस सर, ये
इनको 48 घंटे में हटा.
यस सर.
ये जैसे होता है ना, मतलब ये
निकल रहा है.
बदनुमा दाग.
देखने में सर वैसे भी चोट लगती है.
नहीं चोट में रूटीन काम करते हैं, उसके ध्यान में. ये तो क्लिनिकल ऑब्जर्वेशन है ना. अब पीजीआई में भी अगर क्लिनिकल ऑब्जर्वेशन नहीं होगा तो कहाँ होगा? ये तो बेसिक है. क्या हुआ इसको? इसको बीमारी है?
इसके भाई को
एडमिट है? ठीक हो गया?
नहीं अभी चल रहा है इलाज.
कोई परेशानी है अस्पताल में? ठीक है. तो बहन
सबसे हाथ
भाभी की बेटी एडमिट है सर.
क्या हुआ उसको?
उनको क्लियर हो गया था सर, ब्लड कम हो गया था, उनका ब्लड हाथ चढ़ गया सर. बहुत अच्छा.
अस्पताल में कोई परेशानी है?
नहीं कोई परेशानी नहीं है सर, हर फैसिलिटी है, बड़ा अच्छा है.
हाल में परेशानी है किसी को? बच्चे ठीक हो रहे हैं आपके? हैं? ठीक। कैसे हो? ठीक है? आपका बच्चा एडमिट होता है? एडमिट है? होता पोती? होता। तो ठीक हो रहा है?
अभी तो ठीक हो गया।
इसकी 4 स्लाइस है।
384. So dual energy, dual source CPU. So it is very fast process.
थोड़ा पीछे ये रसल शुगर है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल हो गया।
Dual source energy 192 detector channel, very fast. This is one of the fastest in the country. So the bigger advantage is
जैसे 384 स्लाइस है, वैसे वर्ल्ड में सबसे ज़्यादा कितना है? सबसे बड़ी, सबसे ज़्यादा फास्ट?
This is amongst the fastest. 1000 slices in 1 second. Then Aculon, as much as this, amongst the top 2 in the world.
and by virtue of that speed, it is very good for cardiac imaging and pediatric
Super
imaging.
fast speed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Under one heartbeat, it images the entire heart. Under a heartbeat. So very very powerful.
That is the impression and won't be very difficult for many times we are
Much better.
बहुत छोटे वालों को तो नहीं होता, थोड़े से बड़े होते हैं।
Just we can do in 0.3 seconds, so we don't need to sedate the kid. And because it is very fast,
We don't need to hold
ये एक SPT
सिस्टर जी ठीक है? हैप्पी? बहुत मेहनत किया 1 साल?
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी सर।
कोई परेशानी है अभी? घर में सब लोग ठीक है?
हाँ जी।
बहुत काम किया सर इन लोगों ने। They did lot of work sir.
अरे इनकी वजह से अस्पताल
Yes sir, yes sir. Professor Surjit Singh, he is head of the department of pediatrics, this center, advanced pediatric center.
pediatric surgery के भी यहाँ थे।
Pediatric surgery वाले भी काम है।
कॉलेज में तो ऐसे नहीं थे आप?
कॉलेज में नहीं था, बिल्कुल सही है।
सर ये ना दादिया साहब ने घुटाना ये प्रोफेसर पांडव है सर, हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ ऑप्थेल्मोलॉजी। नहीं, जो हमारे 2 क्षेत्र होते सर, तो 25 और ये डॉक्टर चिंतन, डॉक्टर अमित गुप्ता सर, ही इज़ प्रोफेसर इन ऑप्थेल्मोलॉजी। जो सारे मतलब जैसे कॉर्निया रिलेटेड जो प्रोसीजर अभी दिखाएंगे ना सर, तो करते हैं। मैं भी करता हूँ, पर ये लोग तो
लेजर वाले जो अपने गाँव को
डॉक्टर फारूक सर, डॉक्टर जितेंद्र, डॉक्टर सिंह को मिले थे अभी। हाँ मिले थे। हाँ जी हमारे रजिस्टर हमने तो ऐसे बोला कि थोड़ा आइसोलेटेड हो जाए तो। हाँ जी
Sir, we have the first MCH sir in the country in cornea and catheter MCH.
मेंबर का सर हम लगाते हैं मतलब ना, यंग भी है सर, ओल्ड भी है।
सर पुरी साहब हमारे इंजीनियर जो हैं सर, उनके चाचा चाची की फोटोग्राफ टुडे ही वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यू एंड ही जस्ट टोल्ड मी दैट दे हैड डाइड इन अ रोड एक्सीडेंट। हाँ इनके सर
मैं हॉस्पिटल इंजीनियर है सर, तो मेरे चाचा चाची की डेथ हो गई थी एक्सीडेंट में, तो उन्होंने फिर डोनेट करी थी। बहुत अच्छी बात है
सर। दिस स्टार्टेड इन 1963 सर, इट वाज वन ऑफ द
और रेजिडेंट्स है सर,
MS
फर्स्ट सेकेंड ईयर वाले हैं।
शी इज MCH।
ऑफिस सुपरिटेंडेंट है सर,
गुड थैंक यू आगे सब आगे
ये सर सारे
आगे बताओ हेलो पीछे उधर
Sir, basically, sir, this is we have a little video also inside. So basically, we use a fabric
15 second
change the curvature of the cornea. So it doesn't. It's a non-laser. It's like a keyhole surgery. This is like general surgical keyhole procedures. So we cut a lenticule and we just extract it out using this laser. So it's a proprietary laser, sir. It's called Smile. I want Smile. You don't understand? I want Smile.
they were like fortnight होता है पेंटिंग क्या है सर कंपटीशन करवाते हैं सर आई डोनेशन वीक पे करवाते हैं सर स्कूल के बच्चों से छोटे बच्चों से वी हैड ए कंपटीशन इन रिलेशन छोटे छोटे बच्चों
Sir, we
से
would like you to initial here, sir. In memory of your visit here, sir.
कलभूषण है तो ये भी ही इज ए टेक्निकल स्टाफ सर
अंदर
ऑप्टोमेट्रिस्ट
से प्लीज
सर हाँ जी सर
Sir, we would like you to
प्लीज गेट अ साइड प्लीज गेट
press this button, sir.
ये सेंटर वाला
Sir,
यहाँ
this is central button, sir. So basically, sir, what happens is the procedure. हाँ जी,
बस बस दैट्स इट
नहीं on करो. And then we have the interior cut over that. So this procedure, sir, takes about roughly less than 25 seconds. So this patient's eye is not. So this sir, यहाँ पर. So this is where the laser comes out. So this cartoon it shows the principle. So once we have cut this, it just has to move to the femtosecond laser keratoplasty. So we do corneal transplants without using scissors.
हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ परफेक्टिव सर्विस वी हैव डन प्री कोविड के कारण थोड़ा सा कम हुआ था
डॉक्टर साहब ये अमृत ये मेरे नानी जी इधर रेडी
पीछे देख के चलते हैं ना
On behalf of the institute, I welcome all to today's function to commemorate the World Dental Health Day. A very special welcome to Honorable Chief Guest, Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare and President of the Institute.
प्रोफेसर पांडव सर पद्म श्री सर
आपका फंक्शन होगा राष्ट्रपति भवन में है
प्रोफेसर चावला सर ही वाज आवर फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर
नहीं आई नो डॉक्टर साहब ठीक है आपने रिड्यूस किया है कुछ है ना
Guest Dr. Harshvardhan ji, Honorable Union Minister of the Institute, and preservances of the intellectual icons such as Dr. Tulsi Das, Dr. S.S. Anand, Dr. P.N. Chutani, Dr. B.K. Ayakat, Professor I.C. Pathak, In the last 58 years, the expansion of the institute has been spectacular. From 230 beds in 1962, now we have 2,250 beds, including many of the ICUs. We are indeed honored to have as a guiding light our chief guest, Dr. Harshvardhan ji. Though everybody knows sir, but it is customary to introduce. Dr. Harshvardhan is an ENT surgeon by profession, can also be defined as a global thought leader known for inspiring people with his innovative ideas combined with a vision to turn them into reality. He is the chairman of the executive board of the World Health Organization. He is one of the brightest jewels of the present Indian Cabinet of Ministers, with a scientific temper, who is always excited about empowering India. Not only does he hold a second term at the Health Ministry, initiating radical reforms in healthcare, but he also continues to hold fort at the Ministry of Science and Technology as well as Earth Sciences, where he dreams of making India as the innovation capital of the world. Famous as the polio man, Dr. Harshvardhan made a place in the heart of each Indian through his battle against the dreaded disease poliomyelitis, which he fought violently and won. The biggest task ahead from him is how to deliver universal health care for all in a country of over 1.35 billion people. His goal is global, as he pushes India to integrate with the digital world. He is also the mastermind of India's national digital health blueprint that makes India as the global leader in digital health. While polio eradication from India has been his biggest claim to fame, people still recall how Dr. Harshvardhan spearheaded the introduction of anti-tobacco legislation in India. It was widely welcomed by hundreds of millions of the Indians who were affected directly or indirectly by tobacco menace. The Supreme Court provided a helping hand by passing an order asking all the state and the center to follow suit. Dr. Vardhan believes that a society does not become a modern by just superficial change. Progress and modernization, he feels, meaning adopting lifestyle that reflect collective maturity and vision. You cannot call yourself a superpower if health for all, universal elementary education and environmental protection are mere slogan. He says, the World Health Organization, in recognition of his multifarious contribution to society, awarded him the Director General Commendation Medal at the function held in Rio in May 1998. This was an honor previously bestowed on the likes of the US President Bill Clinton and football superstar Pele. In 1995, he received the Lions International Service Award. In May 1998, he received WHO's DG Commendation Medal for his contribution toward a tobacco-free society. In January 2001, Prime Minister Vajpayee honored him with Rotary International Polio Eradication Champion Award, the first Indian ever to receive this prestigious award. In July 2008, he was hailed as the leader of the future by the Indian doctors in USA. These are just few. As the Union Health Minister at the center stage of managing the present COVID-19 crisis in India, Dr. Harshvardhan's graded preemptive and proactive approaches has enabled India to decelerate the pace of the pandemic. With a short span, he has strengthened the healthcare infrastructure and helped in building a capacity of over 2 million frontline human resource in the fight against COVID-19. Under his able leadership, India took all necessary steps well in time, including surveillance at the point of entry, evacuation of the Indian national stranded overseas, massive community surveillance through robust disease surveillance network, risk communications and community involvement to ensure that India does not lose the battle against coronavirus. Dear sir, it is truly an honor having you here with us today. Today, we completed 1 year of COVID-19 pandemic challenges. COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way we work and go about our daily routine. Under the guidance of Dr. Harshvardhan ji and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, PGI MER Chandigarh has been at the forefront of this war against COVID-19. The institute was declared as a level 3 healthcare facility for managing COVID-19 patients for Chandigarh in 2020. The urgent requirement of an isolated COVID positive hospital was accomplished by a newly built 250-bedded Nehru Hospital extension that was in the final stage of its completion. I salute all the healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, nursing officers, technical staffs, technicians, hospital attendants, sanitary attendants, and other category of staff who worked among the proven COVID patients in the Nehru Hospital extension, where over 3,000 moderate to severe and critical patients of COVID-19 patients have received inpatient care at the institute till date with a good recovery rate. Our Department of Virology and Microbiology have done over close to 2,000 COVID tests every day, almost 11 to 1,200 tests, and I think we should commend them because almost no holiday was taken. They are doing day and night service to the institute. Department of Virology, PGI Chandigarh deserve appreciation for mentoring 68 laboratory facilities, training 200 technical personnel of the northern India states so that they can do the COVID testing at their place. The new year has come with a new hope of COVID vaccines. The task of COVID vaccination has been running smoothly at multiple locations within the institute, and the response has been highly positive among the healthcare workers. I am sure together we will win this war over COVID-19 following COVID appropriate behavior. I am happy to inform that despite all constraints, but with the excellent teamwork, PGI Chandigarh is at just the second best medical institute in the country, third time by the National Institutional Ranking Framework by the Union Ministry of Human Resources. PGI Chandigarh has bagged the Best Hospital Organ Donation Award for the 4th year beside the cleanest hospital. Despite the pandemic, PGI MER Chandigarh has made tremendous progress in developing new infrastructure to facilitate patient care. I am highly grateful to the Honorable Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan ji for agreeing to inaugurate the facilities These are the National Resource Center for Oral Health Care of Children and Elderly, Advanced PET CT Facilities, Advanced Vascular Intervention Lab, 384 slice dual CT scan, refractive surgery suite, the SMILE. We are extremely thankful to the support provided by Government of India and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in letting these facilities see the light of the day. But our endeavor for providing quality health care does not stop here. Many new centers are coming up within the institutional complex to provide dedicated services to the patients and improve research in the subspecialties medicine. The work of Advanced Neurosciences Center is in full swing, and the Advanced Mother and Child Health Center is coming up next to the Advanced Pediatric Center. With the blessing of Honorable Health Minister, we hope to begin work on the proposed Advanced Geriatric Center very soon to facilitate patients who have to travel from far-off places for consultation. Satellite Center of PGI MER Chandigarh is being set up at Sangrur, Punjab, which is nearing completion. Further work on the satellite center at Una in Himachal Pradesh and Firozpur in Punjab is in process of being allotted for construction. With the efforts of Government of India and Chandigarh administration, PGI Chandigarh has been allotted additional 50.76 acre of land near Sarangpur, which is very close to PGI, about 2 kilometers from here. We are planning to shift our screening OPD to that area along with construction of new 500 bedded trauma center to stand with the ever increasing load of emergency patients presenting to PGI. There is also a plan of accommodating advanced center for catering to the specialties of oncology. That will be the oncology center of institute, medical and surgical gastroenterology and hepatology center. That will be about 600 bedded center, and endocrinology are proposed in the additional allotted land. With the increasing infrastructure comes the need of increasing manpower. Even today, despite pandemic, more than 1,700 non-COVID patients are admitted at present in the hospital. Our transfusion medicine department deserves appreciation. Besides that, even despite COVID, they have conducted 410 donation camp over the last 1 year and collected 44,000, some 800 units of blood during COVID pandemic. I think this is highest in the country. Previously, we used to collect almost 60 to 65,000, but this 44,000 during COVID time is not less. There is an urgent need to recruit healthcare workers, especially nursing officer, to facilitate care of these patients. The proposal for which is under consideration in the Finance Ministry. We request the Honorable Sir, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, to personally look into these proposals. Sir, your benevolence in this matter will go long way in helping the needy patients of this region and get access to the best of the health care of our country has to provide. We once again thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time to visit the institute and provide encouragement to our enthusiastic team of faculty members, resident staff in this testing time of COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much.
Dean and Academic, to address the audience and the prizes which have been inaugurated today.
Professor I.C. Pathak, Professor S.K. Sharma, Professor Y.K. Chawla, our ex-directors, Shri Satpal Jain ji, Mr. Dr. Pandav, Padam Shri Dr. Pandav, our institute body members, present in the audience, Mrs. Bhardwaj, our Mayor, Mr. Sood, my faculty colleagues and friends. The global health crisis caused by COVID-19 posed twin challenge to the healthcare workers to provide treatment to the COVID patients, keeping the mortality at the minimum while keeping pace with the latest developments in the world of medicine so as to minimize any compromise in healthcare facilities to non-COVID patients. It's with immense pride that I say that PGI-MER and its healthcare workers, clinicians, nurses, technicians, attendants, other staff of the institute, under the able guidance of Honorable Health Minister, accepted this challenge head on and has performed exceedingly well on both the aspects. It set up a state-of-art 300-bed nodal COVID hospital in a record time, furnishing fully with the critical care facilities for severely sick COVID patients for this region. Critical equipment support by the ministry at the time when the worldwide lockdown was there, it helped the cause greatly. The challenges were converted into opportunities, and PGI pioneered in providing remote view as well as remote support of patients as well as healthcare providers to ensure the best clinical care while ensuring both patients as well as healthcare workers' safety. Not only this resulted in the best outcome in patients, but also resulted in minimal infection rate of healthcare workers who were deployed in COVID hospital. While taking care of these patients, PGI continued its focus on its core functions of medical education, research, and improving patient care facilities, some of which have been inaugurated by our Honorable Health Minister today. National Resource Center for Oral Health Care of Children and Elderly has been inaugurated to commemorate the World Oral Health Day. It's the first ever such initiative. It's the first ever such initiative under the National Oral Health Program, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And this National Resource Center aims to nurture a model of oral health care delivery to children and elderly in this region by establishing geriatric, dental OPD, providing oral health services to all institutionalized elderly group, educating teachers and students in schools, and framing guidelines for the similar models across the country. Another facility inaugurated by our Honorable Health Minister is Advanced PET-CT facility, and this will provide a faster scans of better image quality with a higher resolution with a CT slice as thin as 6 mm. With this, PGI becomes the first public sector hospital in the country to provide this facility to needy patients. And being the only hospital with 3 PET scanners, it will minimize the waiting list of patients requiring PET. The robotic arm-assisted PET-CT guided biopsy device, which it comes with, will provide real-time 3D visualization as well as option for radiofrequency and cryoablation of the tumors. Another facility inaugurated by our Honorable Health Minister is Advanced Vascular Interventional Lab installed in the Department of Radiodiagnosis. It's the first of its kind neurointerventional cath lab with a unique biplane system to visualize the brain, providing enhanced accuracy. With AI-based image analysis, it can help the clinicians in localizing the potentially salvageable parts of the brain in cases of acute stroke, and hence can help the clinicians in tailoring the interventions to the specific areas. In addition, having the capability of carbon dioxide as contrast, it avoids harmful effects of dyes which can be toxic to patients with renal disease. 384 slice dual source CT scan, which is installed in the Advanced Pediatric Center of the Institute, was also inaugurated by our Honorable Health Minister. This is the world's fastest CT scan machine and allows CT scan to be done in fraction of seconds. It's not only useful for children who cannot lie still for long, cannot hold their breath for long, but also for fast-moving structures like heart, CT. Further revolutionizing the world of refractive surgery, the state-of-the-art refractive surgery suite inaugurated by Dr. Harshvardhan ji at Advanced Eye Center will provide the latest technology for laser vision correction. Using small incisional lenticular extraction, commonly called SMILE technique, with femtosecond laser, a laser with a short burst of 10 raised to the power minus 15 seconds. So short bursts of laser, it will do with the need of excimer laser for ablating the corneal tissue. Not only it will reduce the laser cut on the cornea to less than 3 millimeter from the earlier 20 millimeter cuts, it will lead to lesser incidence of dry eye and provide faster rehabilitation. Incidentally, we are the second public sector hospital in the country to provide this facility after AIIMS. Sir, all these facilities will go a long way in improving the diagnostic as well as therapeutic capabilities for enhanced medical care of the sick. Sir, while keeping pace with the advances in the technologies in the medical world, we are not losing focus on indigenous biomedical equipment development and value addition. The Biomedical Instrumentation and Devices Hub, a center for innovation, design and clinical validation, which is funded by your Ministry, Department of Science and Technology at PGI, has developed many prototypes of biomedical instruments under Atmanirbhar initiative of Government of India, and has also transferred some of the technologies to industry. Facilities in the biomedical hub were also utilized to make small but important tools for COVID patient care also. Sir, on the behalf of the Institute, I thank you for sparing time and dedicating various facilities to the patient care, and also giving us an opportunity to showcase our achievements in the field of medical care and research. Sir, we look forward to your continuous guidance and support.
Respected Professor I.C. Pathak ji, Professor S.K. Sharma and Professor Y.K. Chawla, former directors of PGI Chandigarh, gracing this function, and also my dear friend, former Member of Parliament Shri Satpal Jain ji. We are also privileged to have some of the members of the governing body of PGI like Jaya Bhardwaj ji, and also my own party president Arun Sood here. And there are a lot of other distinguished people gracing this occasion. I wish I had the privilege to name many of you, but I'm really overwhelmed by your presence in spite of COVID, and thanks to Dr. Jagat Ramji and Professor G.D. Puri and their colleagues Dr. A.K. Gupta and Dr. Gurpreet Singh ji. I had a very good short and fast trip of PGI Chandigarh in the last 1 hour, where all these state-of-the-art facilities have been inaugurated. And I think it's a great moment for me as Health Minister to be part of all these activities. I am also want to acknowledge and thank Dr. Pandava for his presence, the former HOD at AIIMS. And I fondly remember in 2014 as Union Health Minister, we used to work together for many issues. Since I have come to PGI, I recall with nostalgia and utmost respects and emotional involvement the association with at least two people whom I had the privilege to work or learn quite a bit. One was Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary, who served this institution for a long time in various capacities, served the World Health Organization also, and almost from 94 till the last day of his life, he served the cause of health and was in fact one of my very proactive advisors and helpers in the planning of the health strategies for the country. A very great, distinguished genius of the highest order, and one who served the society and the nation with utmost selflessness. I remember that when I became the health minister in 1993, I was looking for good people who had huge intellectual acumen and then who would help me in steering the cause of health in this country. And that was the time when somebody suggested to me many names, but one of them was Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary. And I had called him at that time and I said, "Sir, I want to meet you. I want to visit your place." He said, No, sir. You are a minister. I will come to you. I said, No, I will come to you. And I said, "Sir, I have heard so much about you, about your credentials, about your experience." He had worked with the WHO also for many years in many countries. And he said, I am willing to pay any amount of money that you feel is suitable, but I want your guidance and active involvement in the affairs of the health ministry. So I still remember that he said, "If you are so keen about giving me something, you can give me ₹1 per year, and that will be sufficient to take care of my needs." And right from 94 till the time of his death, he served the cause of health, and me in particularly, he helped in so many issues. The drug policy that we devised in Delhi, it is still known in WHO as the Delhi model. And at that time in the 90s, it was replicated by 12 states in the country, including the Punjab Congress government at that time. I still remember that the health minister of that time in Punjab, they officially wrote to me that we are so grateful because of this policy and there is so much of revolutionary change that we have been able to bring about in the scenario around drugs and all. That's all, you see, long history. So, and then another man, Professor Chotani, although he belonged to this institution, but I, as health minister in Delhi, had actively had the privilege to work with him, learn from him, take his guidance in number of issues, in number of committees. So I thought I'll just pay my tributes to these two people in particular. I have been told that the greats like Dr. Anand and Dr. Wahi and Dr. B.K. Sharma, they are no more with us, but I am sure that their contribution for this institution that will continue to bless the future generations. I am also told that Dr. Walia, who is in his early 90s, I suppose, he still continues to bless the institution. So, Professor Pathak, we are really grateful to you for your dignified presence today at this function, and I'm really overwhelmed by your presence today. This is a great institution, one of the best in the country, and it's always a pleasure to be part of anything that belongs to PGI. So when it was told to me that there's all these activities are there, and moreover for a long time I had been wishing to come to PGI, and I actually wanted to come here during normal times when I could really talk to the faculty, but I was so overwhelmed by the presence of, you see, all these 6 functions. I literally met all the faculty members, residents, nurses, the hospital staff, and everywhere in every department. I could not see even one person who did not have a smile on his or her face. And this is in spite of the fact that all of you have been working so hard during the last 1 year, in spite of this huge crisis. And I, in fact, congratulated Professor G.D. Puri in particular because of the great organization that he ensured during COVID times for handling COVID through PGI Chandigarh. So we all know that how hard we have all worked in our hospitals, in our institutions. Each one of us has got a lot of, you see, personal experience of having lost somebody who was so dear to him, maybe a doctor or a nurse or another frontline worker or a patient. But still, even after 1 year, there is no sign of any fatigue anywhere. We continue to fight the battle against COVID relentlessly, and I would say significantly successfully also, because in spite of being a big country with 1.35 billion people, our performance in the last 1 year speaks volumes about what India has been able to achieve. This is the same place where experts had come and they used to say that India will see more than 300-400 million cases. India will see 5 to 6 million deaths. But the way the medical profession rose to the occasion, and then later on we saw that it was not only the medical professionals, our COVID warriors in the hospital settings, but also as Science and Technology Minister, I saw that the scientific community also rose to the occasion in a big way. To the occasion in a manner that every scientist in this country was so focused about contributing something for COVID, because that I could see from the closest of quarters as a Science and Technology Minister. So 2020, I have been saying that this probably would be remembered as the year for COVID, but it will also be remembered as year of science or year of the scientific community. And the way we could see that our scientific community people and our doctors, they could develop all these capacities, all these capabilities from a single laboratory to almost over 2,400 laboratories now. And this is in a country where we all remember that 2012, 2013, this testing for this virus, the swab used to be sent to CDC Atlanta. And today in this country, if you can travel 3 kilometers, in 97% of the country, you get a lab, recognized lab, where you can get your RT-PCR test run free. This has all happened because of the dedication, because of our DNA, because of our sincerity, because of our commitments. And I think this is just hats off to the ability and the performance of our people, because when we look at the developed countries all over the world and look at their performance, and then we look at our people, the way the doctors did the contact tracing, the way they organized the surveillance, the way they created the isolation and the quarantine facilities, within no time we could develop over 20 lakh COVID dedicated beds in COVID hospitals, COVID care facilities, COVID care centers, and almost over 12,000 quarantine centers in this country. We could isolate the virus, we started hearing about the genome sequencing now when the mutation came in England, but I know as a science and technology minister, my people in biotechnology and all, they were doing the genome sequencing of the virus in May, June itself. Every month we used to have a meeting to see, is there any mutation happening anywhere? Is there any change happening? Is there any change in the behavior? Anything new has appeared? And now when the mutation also came, they could ultimately isolate that also so fast in the whole world. I remember that in the initial stages, we used to have so many complaints from all over the country. Doctors are finding it difficult to actually have the N95 masks and the PPE kits and all those things. They were not manufactured in India. All these testing kits at huge exorbitant prices, because the government wanted to save the life of the people, they had to be imported. No time the country stood up, rose to the occasion, and we could have lakhs of PPE kits being produced every day. We could export all these things. We could make our own ventilators. We could supply thousands of ventilators to the whole country. And as a health minister, I know the time when in my own country, my state government people, they started saying, "Sir, please don't send any more PPE kits. We don't have place to keep them in our stores. We don't have place to keep these N95 masks in our stores." We were supplying drugs to hydroxychloroquine. We supplied to 150 countries. And now we have got these vaccines. Less than, as doctors you all know, I used to hear about the dengue vaccine research. Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary used to talk about this dengue vaccine research also when I was health minister in Delhi. And today also we don't have it. The research continues to go on and on. We are still having research around malaria and all. So many vaccines are still in the research stage. You could get a rotavirus vaccine after almost a decade of hard work. But here in India, we could get these two vaccines within less than 1 year. And today, when almost 4 crore 20 lakh doses have already been delivered to our people in India, 6 crore doses have already been sent to people across the globe in 76 countries, and a few more vaccines are in advanced stages of clinical trial. I think this all speaks volumes about the contribution of people like you, our academic institutions, our medical and the scientific fraternity, the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who fought this battle fighting from the front. From the day one, he ensured that there was a proactive, preemptive strike around this COVID war. A continuous graded response. I know those who were doctors who were involved in this surveillance along with their rapid response teams in the field, because I have monitored everything from the closest of quarters, so I know that at any point of time there were almost 1 million people in this country who were under close surveillance, where we could know where is this man living, where is this man sleeping, what is this man doing, is he moving around, who is he meeting. Every day people would call him, are you still inside your home? So lot of great things, they have happened during the last 1 year, and this is all because of all of you, people like you. So I would love to pay my tributes to the memory of all those who sacrificed their lives also. We lost them during this 1 year, and also hats off to all of you who continue to work with the same amount of enthusiasm that you had in March or April 2020. And then also, this is an occasion for me to pay my tributes to the mothers and the family members of all our doctors and the COVID warriors. There is not a single example of single mother or a single family member anywhere in the country who, in spite of having seen from close quarters that my son is going or my daughter is going to the hospital, we don't know whether she'll come back without COVID or whether she will not fall sick. They have all seen. Each one of us has I have a personal knowledge of many doctors who are my very dear friends, and suddenly on every second day you see on the Facebook a photograph. He left, we lost him today fighting COVID. So this is something, but not an example of one family member of one COVID warrior anywhere in the country who said, no, I will not allow you to go to the hospital from tomorrow. So it's a great experience, and of course India, whenever India has decided, India has already has shown and done it. We could fight smallpox, we eradicated it. We could fight polio, we could eradicate it. And they were big diseases, and smallpox journey, we all know at that time we used to be, when it was eradicated in the 70s, we were in the medical college, and many of our seniors have seen the journey of smallpox eradication having started from the beginning. And the polio eradication journey, I have had the blessing to be involved at a personal level also right from the 90s as health minister in Delhi. So our people have a lot of experience in this country, and India's efforts and the efforts of the medical profession in India and the scientific community in India have all been lauded and acknowledged at the international level. Now, you see the institutions like PGI, we have now many like this, some in the process of development. Say we started our journey with one AIIMS in 50s, and in 2003 Atalji conceived of 5 more AIIMS. In 2014 Prime Minister Modi conceived of another 16 more. So now we have almost 22 AIIMS in the country. We have now 75 institutions which have been given the status, or dimensions, new dimensions have been added to it. They are called like AIIMS-like institutions. At the moment, 157 medical colleges, new medical colleges are in the country, are in the various phases of development. I am talking about those which have started their journey after 2014, after Prime Minister Modi took over. When we took over in 2014, we had 50,000 MBBS seats in this country. Now we have almost close to 84,000. From 1947 to 2014, 50,000 MBBS seats, and now it's a journey in 6-7 years of another 30-35,000. 24,000 more PG seats added. Another 10,000 odd seats are going to be added in DNB very soon. And there's a lot of things are happening on the health front with the most ambitious program like Ayushman Bharat, the activities around the creation of these health and wellness centers. When you imagine about a health and wellness center sitting here, you can probably not perceive or imagine what's it actually giving to the country. Recently I had the privilege to visit places like Nagaland, Manipur, some of the places in Madhya Pradesh and other places, and see, after having spent time in these health and wellness centers in the remotest parts of the country, I went to a place, Mon, where we laid the foundation stone of a new medical college. This is the northeastern part of the northeast, bordering Myanmar on one side, Arunachal Pradesh on the other side, bordering Assam. So that was the place where we laid the foundation stone of a new medical college, one of the most aspirational districts where the have-nots or those who have been deprived of all those services. And at places like that, I could see that the new concept of a health and wellness center which is being created with strengthening of preventive, promotive and positive health aspects, and some type of services being delivered, screenings in lakhs happening for early diagnosis of hypertension, diabetes, cancers of the cervix, breast, oral cancers. It's a very important day for oral health today. And free drugs and diagnostics, even in those remote, and a good quality health movement, positive health movement, and a positive health energy generating there, with yoga sessions also happening there, people teaching the community meditation, people involving the societal groups in discussions, how they can actually protect themselves from diseases, how they can become healthy, and they don't need to go to a hospital to remain healthy. They have to only change their behavior, they have to adopt some good deeds. So the point that I was trying to make is that there is so much that's happening in health, and now the new missions like this digital health mission, Digital India has become, it was probably one of the first few cabinet notes of Prime Minister Modi in 2014, and today you see how much of digitalization we have gone into. You talk to people in America or in England where vaccinations is going on, and you look at your own experience where you can just take out your phone, you can book your appointment, and there is a seamless mechanism where you can go and take your vaccine. You can go to one of those 50,000 hospitals in the private or the, so many things happening. And tuberculosis, we have a goal to eliminate it 5 years earlier, and all over the country last 3 years itself we must have sent 1,000 crore rupees to the bank account of those who got affected with tuberculosis in this country to give them the nutritional support. This is the level of commitment of this particular government. And we want to actually eliminate tuberculosis by 2025. There's similar movements happening around universal immunization program. We want 100% children to get, we don't want to be happy with 90% or 80% and many children being left unimmunized in this country in spite of a robust universal immunization program. We want to get rid of many more diseases, and of course, this being a oral health day, for me it's a very pleasant and a very satisfying feeling, because I was there in the health ministry for 5-6 months in 2014, and I initiated this activity around drafting a oral health policy for the country, oral health program for the country, which got finalized, and I am happy that your department here in PGI has been given one additional responsibility of being a national resource center for ensuring that we make it a big movement in the country. We train people around and then it has contributed significantly to the development of the oral health policy. As an ENT surgeon myself, I have seen how much, because anything that you do in ENT, you have to ask the patient to open his mouth, and there you can appreciate the importance of oral health. So what I would like institutions like this and the big institutions and in the bigger scheme of things, you all remember that when we were short of these laboratories, we asked these big institutions that you ensure that within say 100-200 kilometers of your institution you will visit all the places, and you will ensure that a lab is created there. The support systems will be provided, generated by the government, but there has to be some mentorship of the big institutions, and our big institutions and our medical colleges helped us in successfully taking this journey from one lab to over 2,000 labs. When today we say that we are doing almost 1 million tests every day. Dr. Jagat Ram was telling me you are doing some 2,000 tests a day here. Yeah? Even laboratories, even institutions which were not supposed to be doing all these tests, they also created systems. All our TB diagnostic systems, they got converted into these CBNets and TrueNets, they all got converted into testing for COVID. So I would like that your responsibility as PGI, you are not a routine medical college, you are not a routine medical institution. You are not an institution to be only producing these postgraduates or DMs or MCH people or the PhDs, etc., etc. Of course, that is a huge contribution that you have made to the medical scenario of this country. But now the time has come where we all have to work hard to ensure that for the whole world we are able to create a successful model where we can safely say that we are moving ahead towards the goal of health for all. I have a firm conviction that if at all, at any time in history, any country can actually reach around that goal. And that I say because of the history of this country, because of the medical wisdom that we enjoy, because of the DNA of this country, and because of the great knowledge that we had, and because of the great strong health practices that we had in this country, which are ingrained in our DNA, we can produce that model. And institutions like this have to become mentors for many more institutions in the field up to the grassroots level, and of course for the society. A very huge movement around positive health, health education, all this has to, you see, if a million ASHA workers who are hardly educated and who are hardly paid, if any one of us actually embraces them and tries to analyze and assess how many things they actually do in the society, walking into each house in the community, taking so much of information, giving so much of information, delivering so much, and without hardly any significant formal education. So that way, compare ourselves to them. We are 1,000 or many more times educated, many more times privileged, many more times equipped with all sorts of strategies. So now is a time when Prime Minister also, in a function in 2017, when I was part of that function also, many others were also part of that function, was taking place at our party headquarters. Suddenly while speaking he said, for a moment, can you imagine that you are in 1942? And he said, if you can imagine that you are in 1942, imagine that 5 years from now, or 5 years from 1942, we got independence. And in 2017 at a function at 6 o'clock in the evening, he said, 5 years from now, we are going to have 2022. We complete 75 years of our independence. And this is my most cherished dream, to deliver a new India to all Indians in 2022, when we complete 75 years of independence. An India where I can see smile on everybody's face, where I can see that every child has got adequate health, adequate nutrition, adequate education, where we can protect and safeguard the dignity of women, where we can ensure that our elderly people are looked after well, where we can get rid of this country from all these types of isms that plague this country with all sorts of ailments, and we have only humanism and nationalism prevailing in this country. And he appealed to everyone, and to the scientists and to the medical professionals. There's a lot of faith he has in the ability of both of them. He reminds them of our professional social responsibility, of our scientific social responsibility, where whatever we do as a professional, as a scientific person, we always remember that what is our social responsibility for the poor in the field. And at that function he said, appeal to everyone, that please dream of something which will contribute whatever little bit to the ultimate realization of that dream of New India, and blend your dream with my dream. And I think that each one of us, as an individual, as a department, as an institution, should now start nurturing a new dream, something where we can contribute many things over and above what we are already contributing in a routine way. What we are doing in a routine way, that is our duty, but now on we have to do most of these things more passionately. The way you worked with sincerity, commitment, dedication, honesty, truthfulness for COVID, now is the time that we have to work with the same amount of sincerity and dedication to ensure that our professional abilities are translated into very positive outcomes for the society. And with our intelligence we can diagnose the ailments of the society. That is what I tell my scientists also. Your research should not be directed at producing a scientific paper which will glorify your CV. Impact factor is not something that your paper was read so many times, so it has more impact factor. That is a wrong definition of impact factor as per me, as far as I am concerned. I have been repeating it even at international forums, that change the definition of this impact factor. Impact factor of your work is how much your work can actually change the life of the common man, the poor man, the downtrodden. And if in spite of such a huge, big organized profession and such big institutions, if the people continue to suffer, if the people continue to have ailments, when we all know that 80-90% of health is only prevention, 80% of health is only promotion of positive values, then it becomes absolutely necessary for all of us to redefine our goals and start working for those goals. And institutions like PGI Chandigarh, I think they have a responsibility in the sense that we want some models to be created of institutions and of people within those institutions where others can emulate, where someone in the field can also be shown that there is a doctor who, in spite of being such a big doctor, you can see what is he doing, how he is performing. I fondly remember that 1993, 20th of December, when I was blessed one day at a function in Maulana Azad Medical College. I was just 17 days old as a health minister in Delhi, and also 17 days old in my public life. And I was just delivering my speech like this. And somebody sent me a small slip of paper and said these were some pediatricians who wanted to meet me after the function, like this only. That function was in the open ground, this is happening inside. And I just said yes. And when I went down after having finished my speech, those 4 or 5 doctors, they said, "Doctor, we are not going to talk to you here in front of everybody. We want you to come with us and come to the corner of the ground." And they took me to that corner of Maulana Azad Medical College. And they said, "You have become the health minister. Are you aware that India is home to 60% of the polio cases of the whole world?" I said, "Honestly, I am not aware of these statistics." And then they said, "Are you aware that 10% of those cases, they belong to your capital where you were born?" I said, "No, I am not aware of any statistics." And then they said, "Are you aware the place from where you got elected, your first assembly election, that is home to the maximum number of polio cases of the whole world?" That was the Trans-Yamuna area of Delhi. And then they finally told me that, "Are you aware that the World Health Organization had pledged in 1988 in the World Health Assembly to eradicate polio by 2000. And today in 1993, we have such a bad experience. We have been running from pillar to post, knocking at the door of every politician in this country, but everything falls on deaf ears. There are no listeners to our call. There is a strategy, and if we implement the strategy, we can probably eradicate polio like smallpox." Doctor, you can appreciate this. And why don't we work on this? So that was, I say that was the most blessed day of my life. I went back home, started thinking, kept thinking the whole night. And on that night between the 20th of December and the 21st of December, a dream was born with the blessing of God. And from that day I started working for a polio-free India. And when we started working, we started work with a core group of only 4 people. There was a health secretary, there was a Maulana Azad Medical College professor, there was a private pediatrician, there was a management expert. And the very next day, we got all papers from WHO about whatever has happened in polio all over the world. And reading that for 10 days, I came to the conclusion that it was a Herculean task, but it was not impossible for India to do it. If Brazil can do it, if American nations can do it, why can't India do it? And I remember when we did it for the first time in Delhi, all my senior most professors in medical colleges, we all feel proud of them. Everybody, every professional, our doctors, they were running in the streets, creating the movement. And at 5 o'clock they got up and went to places 40 kilometers away to be part of a polio kendra. Rest is all long history. I had the privilege to, in 2014, receive the WHO certification for a polio-free India. It could be possible because the whole country stood up. All our professionals stood up. So I gave this example that I fortunately got blessed, and I think each one of you can get blessed with any dream. Pick up any dream of your choice. Start working around that dream. And I am sure that there are hundreds of people in PGI who are independently, individually capable of creating history in the next 10 years for the country. I think if we can really do something around that, work around that, that would be the greatest tribute to the institution, to the profession, to people like you mentioned about Mr. Pratap Singh Cairo and the first Prime Minister of India, so many people. You see, the places and the institutions that have been created, because I have seen all the institutions of science and technology in this country. I know the great work of the great stalwarts of this country. Many of my science and technology institutions have been created in this country by the first Prime Minister and Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, who was the first Minister, Vice President for CSIR. I have seen that. I have seen the vision. We are enjoying the fruits of that vision. I have seen all those places where people like Dr. C.V. Raman, P.C. Ray, Jagdish Chandra Bose, बीरबल साहनी वर्क, टूटे फूटे जगह, उनके ऑफिसेज मैंने देखे हैं. आई हैव सीन ऑल दैट. They did not have access to all these big machines that we see. That there are majority of the institutions in this country don't even have a CT scan. You have 3 PET scans machines. PET CT facility, this is the 3rd one that has been created today, which is probably the fastest or the best in the world. So we are 1,000 times more lucky than the, I think, stalwarts like Dr. Pathak who are sitting here. They may not have enjoyed all these facilities. So we are far more luckier than all of them. But because of their jazba, they could, I think, do so many things. We are also having ability. So we should now develop a new journey, new vision, and there cannot be a better time for India than the present time. I do not say that because I belong to the cabinet of Pradhan Mantri Modi ji. I say that because I have seen him working from close quarters as a part of his cabinet in last 7 years. His heart beats for India, and he really, when he says something, he actually means it. He is working, living, dying, sleeping, eating only for India and for the poor people of this India. So we all owe a lot of debt to this country, and I am sure that in future times, this time I could not enjoy good quality time with all of you, but I promise that when we have better times, slightly post-COVID, we'll spend a full day here maybe organize a good quality brainstorming with all the people. And Dr. Jagat Ram, my personal experience says that most of the bright ideas and contributors for a good vision, they emerge from good quality brainstorming with your juniors. Sometimes the head of the department thinks that he is probably the most intelligent. He probably doesn't appreciate that the junior most resident has got also far more brighter ideas than what he may think that he is only the storehouse of ideas. And once you start brainstorming with your younger colleagues, you get so many ideas. You pick up any of those good ideas and start working on the implementation of those ideas. That is how this institution will become far bigger. So thank you so much for all your patient hearing. I know that I don't have any significant words in my vocabularies to really express my heart with you, but whatever I could in the shortest possible time, and whatever I said, I actually really mean it. When I say that you have the capability and the potential and the DNA, I really mean it. And I only want that to be explored and utilized and exploited. That's what is the need of the hour. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Go.